Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX. I am Meenakshi Upreti. With me, Mr. Kirill Dmitriev. He is the CEO of RDI of Sputnik. Thank you, sir, for joining us and speaking to us on NewsX.
Sure, great to have you. Good to see you.
So my very first question, we are talking at a day when there are over 100 Omicron cases which have been detected in India. But as far as Sputnik is concerned, I believe you have some welcome news, a news which, of course, the world has been wanting to hear. Tell us a little more about your findings, the latest findings as far as Sputnik's ability to neutralize the Omicron variant is concerned.
Well, we do believe it's great news because Sputnik in reality is a Russian-Indian vaccine. Because so much production capacity is in India with our great partners, Serum and Hetero and Dr. Reddy and many others. So the great news, and again, it's preliminary, it's based on lab studies, but we showed our scientists that Sputnik is quite efficient against Omicron. And particularly if you also have a Sputnik Light booster, which is a third shot, 100% of the people develop neutralizing a level of antibodies after 2-3 months of revaccination. So we believe that Sputnik Light is a great booster and can boost, by the way, other vaccines. We have tested combinations with AstraZeneca, with many other vaccines. And Sputnik indeed has shown so far the best results out of any vaccine for neutralizing Omicron. So it's really very welcome news. And in partnership with India, in partnership with other countries, we'll be producing Sputnik and Sputnik Light booster and fight Omicron together.
Right. And so you speak about the efficacy. You say it's almost 100% effective, especially when it comes to the booster shot. Are you also suggesting that those in India, because most of us have got either Covishield or the Covaxin shots, can they go for a Sputnik-like booster?
Yeah, so I will not use 100% efficacy number at all. Our scientists estimate that efficacy is around 80% with a booster.
All right.
It's just that people developed neutralizing antibody 100% of the people, but still the efficacy of the vaccine is currently estimated around 80% against Omicron. And yes, Sputnik Light can be used as a booster with Covishield or with Covaxin, with other vaccines in India. And we have done those trials in Argentina, where we tested Sputnik with Sinopharm, AstraZeneca, Moderna with great results. So the government has to approve such a boosting approach, and Sputnik Light has already been approved as universal booster in many countries, more than 25 countries, including UAE, Philippines, and many others. So India government is now in the process of registering Sputnik Light. Yeah. And when it registers, which will hopefully happen in the next week or so, Sputnik Light will become available. And yes, we believe that Sputnik Light can be a great booster. And by the way, Serum Institute is producing both Covishield and Sputnik Light. So Serum can actually also provide this combination to India just with their production facilities.
Right. And so, as far as booster is concerned, you rightly said that we are still awaiting a clarity on policy by the Indian government. As far as the government is concerned, they say that there is still time for booster shots. What would you say, considering we are seeing a large number of Omicron cases all over the world, and especially now that we've crossed the 100 mark, as far as the Omicron is concerned within India as well, do you think that the need of the hour is to administer booster shots to at least comorbids, at least those who are elderly?
Well, I think Indian government will decide, and I have to tell you, you have one of the best governments in fighting COVID. So results of India on COVID being able to produce so quickly 1 billion doses and more is really unprecedented. So I think your government will make a determination, and you have great people who are frankly some of the most experienced COVID fighters in the world. But what we see in other countries is that Omicron cases are increasing very fast. Yeah. A very important example is UK, where you have really huge surge of Omicron cases. And some people are saying, well, Omicron could be easier. Other people saying we don't know yet. It actually could be causing lots of long-term COVID cases. So the jury is still out how lethal Omicron is. But definitely in Russia, we will be using Sputnik Light as a booster a lot. And we see many countries facing Omicron cases really believing that booster is the best strategy to address it. But of course, Indian government will decide how they think is the right approach.
Right, and also, sir, as far as your latest publishing is concerned, you also have compared Sputnik to the mRNA vaccine and found it much more efficacious. Could you elaborate on that a little more?
Yeah, so we really believe the world has to be open and honest about mRNA vaccine efficacy, because it's frankly even in the interest of mRNA vaccines to really be honest about what's going on. And what we see is there are two issues. One issue, mRNA vaccines have very significant waning of efficacy after 4-5 months. So you have data from Sweden showing that after 4-5 months, efficacy of mRNA vaccines goes to below, 40%, 30%. You have most recent data from US that says in older people after 4 months, they have efficacy of 20%. So we believe that they should be boosted. They can be boosted with Covishield, they can be boosted with Sputnik Light, but they need to be boosted with vaccines that provide longer duration. And we believe that Sputnik Light provides longer duration of protection. We showed the efficacy of 80% after 6 months. So I think it's about that, but also we saw huge declines of mRNA vaccine efficacy against Omicron. So Pfizer data shows they declined 41 times. Moderna shows they declined 49 to 84 times. And they need to have a partner, and this partner is a booster shot by another vaccine, and it can be Covishield, it can be another booster shot, but definitely other vaccines need to be combined with mRNA vaccines, not to have boosters every 3 months.
Right.
Because having boosters every 3 months is not a good strategy.
Right. And so since you speak about the waning of efficacy, where does Sputnik stand? Once someone gets the Sputnik booster shot, what is the time frame which you are looking at when we speak of the waning of efficacy or the need to get another booster shot?
Well, it's actually good with Sputnik and also we believe with Covishield. So we have shown that over 4 months, the efficacy is actually growing. And after 6 months, we showed real efficacy in San Marino of 80% against infections. And this is versus less than 29% of mRNA vaccines after 6 months. So we believe Sputnik Light increases and protects for more than 6 months. Right now, with Omicron coming, scientists recommend a booster shot of Sputnik Light 6 months after the previous vaccine. And we believe that this will be enough, frankly, for the next 6 months to a year of protection against Omicron. But once again, Indian government will have to make their own determination. And Dr. Reddy, our great partner in India, have provided lots of data on Sputnik Light. And we've even done a clinical study of Sputnik Light in India. So your government knows a lot about Sputnik Light.
Right. And so since you say that Sputnik Light is capable of neutralizing the Omicron variant to a large extent, are you looking at building an upgraded version of the vaccine, or is it not required at this point of time?
Yeah, the upgraded version of the vaccine has already been built. So we have a vaccine, to launch it into production, it will take about 2.5 months. But so far we see that Sputnik Light is very efficient against Omicron. So our scientists do not believe we need this version, just as we had another version against Delta and we didn't have to use that. But we'll test the specific version against Omicron, and if it shows significantly higher performance, then we'll be in a position to deliver this also by the end of February, also that can be produced in India. But so far, our scientists believe that existing vaccine with a booster shot works well.
Right. And so just help us understand a timeline. Once the Indian government, which you say it's most likely to approve, week or so, it's a matter of days, approve Sputnik Light, will it be immediately available, considering we had seen earlier, bottlenecks when it came to the supply of Sputnik? Where do you stand on that front? And as far as this upgraded version is concerned, once you have the upgraded vaccine ready, when can that be available to the world, sir?
Yeah, so definitely all of the production issues have been solved, and we have great partners like Serum and Hetero that are already producing. They have produced lots of vaccine already. So that vaccine is ready to be delivered to India as soon as the approval comes. So no issues on production anymore, again, thanks to India production capacity. And the new vaccine, again, only if it's needed, because it's a big question of if. It can also be available to India by the end of February. And it also can be produced in India. But again, so far, we believe the focus should be on Sputnik Light boosters. And today we have really great data. Frankly, it's great news not only for Russia and India, because Sputnik is a Russian-Indian vaccine, but for the whole world, because world needs a great protection against Omicron that is taking over so many countries right now.
And so, since now you have a new study which, you say proves the efficacy of the Sputnik booster shot against Omicron variant, help us understand, where do you stand when it comes to the WHO approval? Have you got the approval? If not, what is the issue? And what is the timeline you're looking on that front?
Yeah, so Minister of Health of Russia is responsible for WHO approval. A couple of days ago, head of WHO in Europe made actually very positive comments. He said that he expects approval very shortly. So once again, I think it's a question of just a very short time. They don't want to put time frame because it's up to WHO to decide. But I think with Omicron, we see acceleration of many of the processes just generally. And there is very good and very professional cooperation with WHO. So we believe it's just a question of very short time frame. So hopefully in a short time, there will be good news on that.
Right. And so before I let you go, just two more quick questions. As far as the emerging situation in India is concerned, when we speak about the Omicron variant, today the health ministry in a press conference said that the cases have crossed 100. They are expecting the cases to double also, or perhaps go up drastically in the coming few days or a month or so, considering the Omicron spreads really fast, much more faster than the Delta variant. What is your assessment of the situation vis-a-vis India?
Well, definitely, we see examples of Omicron taking completely over in South Africa, in UK, in many other countries. So right now, there is no question that Omicron is taking over Delta. Now, there is a question, will Delta also exist, or will Omicron completely take over? But we see that it's spreading much, much faster than Delta. So it's really a question of days before there will be a surge, unfortunately, of Omicron infections in many countries. And that's why people need to act now. And that's why we believe that, booster shots, Sputnik Light booster, other boosters are now the best strategy to really contain this Omicron threat. And we believe that, it requires quick decisions because Omicron is spreading. Many people give numbers, but much, much faster than Delta, much, much faster.
Correct. And so last question, tell us a little more about the Sputnik M vaccine, the vaccine for adolescents. Any plans of, bringing it here in India as well? What really is the strategy on that front, sir?
Yes, of course. So we already have sent data on Sputnik M vaccine for children to the Indian regulator and our partner, Dr. Reddy. We are going through approval process in India. We believe there may need to be a bridging study on this, but the vaccine is already approved in Russia. It's been used in Russia. And we believe it's important because, again, with Omicron, more and more infections are happening also in children and younger population. So we are working very close with the Indian government of Sputnik M approval in India as well.
All right, sir. I hope that approval comes sooner than later, and I hope approval for boosters also come, because many in India, including myself, are waiting eagerly for the booster shots. Thank you for now. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, and again, great to talk to you, and great that Russia and India are such great partners and are working very closely together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.